Donald H. Eichhorn, a founding father of middle-level education, 1932 to 2001, by Ashley Davis. Dr. Eichhorn was born in 1932 in Etna, Pennsylvania. That is also where he went to school. Um, he did attend college at Slippery Rock State College, and however, because of financial restrictions, Dr. Eichhorn had a lot of contributions to the middle level education. When he became the principal at a junior high school in Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania, that's when he really started noticing like the problems that were arising with the middle-aged students, with young adolescents, um, and he started being able to see like how the school system wasn't benefiting those students and was letting them down. In 1957, he became assistant superintendent, and that's when he was really ready to make a difference in the schools. He went on to graduate school at the University of Pittsburgh to get a degree in administration. While he was getting his administration degree, he did a graduate dissertation, and it was originally denied because of his non-traditional middle school model that he provided. In the model, he believed that ninth graders belonged in high school and not with the middle age group. He also believed that developmental age grouping was more beneficial than chronological age grouping. So basically, students will be grouped based on their developmental skills. Um, and another one of his beliefs for his model was the middle school was founded on characteristics of students. So he had a socio-psychological model. And because his dissertation was denied, his mentor, Richard Wynn, fought alongside with him to help submit his dissertation. And finally, permission was given in 1965. And then in 1968, he wrote what is known as the Middle School Organization, A New Dimension. That really set the tone for how the middle schools evolved and changed during that time. In 1969, Dr. Eichhorn started the Boyce Medical Study with Dr. Alan Drash. This was one of the largest health studies of young adolescents at the time, and the findings from this study, Dr. Eichhorn was able to produce the basis for what we know as the characteristics of young adolescents today. He also held key leadership positions in the design and implementation of one of the country's first middle schools. And within that middle school, he was one of the first to establish a successful advisory group. He focused on age-appropriate activities for the young adolescent age, and he also had a non-traditional school. It was the 543 educational system, so ninth grade was not in the middle school anymore. It had been pushed to the high school level. And then, of course, his developmental age grouping instead of the chronological age grouping. And then his school system was designed around the students and their needs to better benefit the students and their learning. He served on the ASCD Emerging Adolescent Learner Counselor, and he served as a chair on the Pennsylvania Middle School Association Executive Board as well. Dr. Eichhorn had a lot of successful publications that really helped build the foundation and the idea of the non-traditional middle school. And one of those that were really the starting and focus point of the non-traditional middle school that Dr. Eichhorn envisioned was the middle school publication that he wrote. That was really the start of it and the idea, and just getting it out there to the public about the change that needs to take place within the school. He also wrote the Middle School Organization, A New Dimension, the Emerging Adolescent of School of the Future, Now, Middle School, The Beauty of Diversity, focused on learner leads to a clearer middle level picture, and then there were a few others as well. Dr. Eichhorn, he was a true legacy leader. He definitely shook up the nation's middle level schools. He did that by creating the recognition of middle grades as a distinctive level in K through 12. So he put the middle schools on the map and let them know that these kids are not the same as elementary age, and they're not the same as secondary age kids. So we have to do something different, and he put that on the map. He also had key leadership position in designing and implementing one of the first middle schools. He revolutionized the middle level education, and by that, I'm talking about his psychological model that he created, um, and how he just designed the school system around the students' needs and to meet the students' needs and to put the students at the center of their learning. Um, he helped produce the basis for the characteristics of young adolescents, and that's how we know and understand young adolescents today. So without him doing that research, we may not understand adolescents as well as we do today. He was also a leader in articulating the middle level philosophy. He worked around the world in middle schools, so it wasn't just a USA thing. He went to Japan, Singapore, Malaysia, and many other places as well, working and helping implement his his non-traditional model into those schools as well. He was also a pioneer for creating schools for transcendence, and he actually coined that term to describe youngsters in one of his articles. And because of his articles, books, and monographs, society, if you've read any of his stuff, you have a more solid understanding of middle school youngsters and their needs for appropriate school practices. So he really helped educators and teachers today understand the needs of adolescents and how they grow and develop and learn. He played a huge role in that. Some issues that Dr. Eichhorn definitely addressed was one being how junior high schools did not center the education around the students and the students' needs. I feel like there was just a lack of understanding young adolescents at the time. And so he also definitely brought a better understanding and recognition to the young adolescent diverse growth and development that was initially not acknowledged before. He also helped develop a school system that better enhance the learning and engagement of the students by doing a 5-4-3 organizational structure of the schools, and that help focus on age appropriate activities and advisory groups that really help students collaborate and work together and be in a positive learning environment. Um, Something else that he really addressed was he was able to articulate the middle level philosophy and the changes that needed to occur. And he definitely helped make others see and believe when many had doubted and denied that this non traditional model would even work in the middle school system, or even if the school systems needed to be changed. So he definitely helped everyone become aware of the change that needed to take place. So each year, the Pennsylvania Middle School Association awards the Don Eichhorn Award to an outstanding middle school. By learning and then knowing about Dr. Eichhorn, it's very important for knowing and understanding the middle level education now and, of course, for in the future, to be able to look at his methods and his development and understanding of young adolescents. It's critical for advocates of middle school and teachers in middle school. One, we can better understand the importance of continuing to study young adolescents and their changes so that we can continue to change and adapt to middle school education. Um, Dr. Eichhorn showed us the uniqueness and diversity among adolescents, and that uniqueness and diversity and intertwining that with the ever-changing world, we're going to have to continue to adapt and change middle schools. And so he really showed us that and put that into perspective. We also understand the importance of centering the school system around the students and their needs, because they're so diverse and unique. Their needs are different than, elementary age students or secondary age students, and he showed us that, and he showed us also how students learn better when their learning is focused on their needs, and not testing or what the teacher wants to teach. We also get a better understanding of young adolescents' need for age-appropriate school practices and advisory groups. And finally, we also learn to take professional and personal risks, stand firm in our convictions, and never give up as educators and advocates for young adolescents. Because Dr. Eichhorn definitely had a lot of conflicts and disbeliefs and people that didn't agree with his non-traditional model, but he stood firm and he took those risks and he didn't give up and he fought for his beliefs, and he helped develop a better middle level educational system for young adolescents because of that. And that's something that I definitely will take from that, and I hope everyone else will take from Dr. Eichhorn.